Hello, I'm Adam McCarthy of SSA Athletics, and in this video we're going to be looking at weight training for a sprinter, specifically what I was doing in spring. Make sure you check out our Facebook pages, our new Instagram page, as well as the website to find out more information about our club. Smash subscribe. So I've done a warm up on the bike and now I'm warming up with the bar, doing specific exercises that will mimic the actions I'm about to do in the actual training session. This is known as a rewarm. I'm doing a certain number of squats, certain number of clean-like exercises to rewarm the muscles and to mimic the actions I'm about to do in the actual training session. Good mornings represent RDLs. The squat actions help me with my squat and clean, and the breakdown of the clean actions helps with my technique for the actual cleans themselves. So what I'm attempting to do now is to do a cleans. I'm going to do 3 cleans, 3 sets of 3 on each of these exercises. And the lifting platform is great to help us do the cleans because I can effectively just drop the weight without, in theory, damaging the floor below. And this prevents the concentric loading phase of the exercise. In other words, it helps to protect one's back. Now it's important when you do cleans that you make sure between sets that your weights are fully on properly so they don't slip off, because sometimes they might slide off. For instance, the clips get a little bit loose. Reason why we are doing cleans is that it mimics the positioning to a certain degree, or I've heard it mimics the positioning from a sprint start, that kind of low hip driving action. But more specifically, it's one of the most powerful exercises one can do as a sprinter. A highly explosive exercise that requires almost the entire body. Now, cleans require a lot of technique and a lot of getting used to. You rip the bar, bring your shoulders high, keeping the arms up high, and then you rip under it. So it's like a parabellum. So you're trying to get under at the highest point. It's very technical exercise to do and takes a long time to learn how to do it. Okay, so we're going to do some hip thrusts now. On this machine here, there's a hip thrust machine called a Glute Drive. And what we're going to do, this is just a rewarm really. We've got a bar set up with mats. If that gets taken, that doesn't particularly matter too much because we can always do the session on here as well. First thing to note about feet positioning, the closer we bring our feet in, the more the glutes it does, the further away we go, the more the hamstrings. As a sprinter, we're going to have our hamstrings a little bit further out when we're doing the actual exercise itself. So, but at the moment, I'm just going to do 20 reps, no weight on the bar, and then I'm going to stick a little bit more weight on and do 10 reps warm up, or rewarm, should I say. So likewise with the squat, which we're going to learn about later, the actual placement of the feet needs. If we were going to have certain times of the year, we might want to do more glute than hamstring. Generally as a sprinter, we utilize more hamstrings. Therefore, we've got to make these hamstrings bulletproof. So we're going to do a lot of exercises on the hamstrings over the year as it goes on by. And then we do more Nordic stuff, potentially after sessions or into the summer, depending on what you do. So Nordic curl is basically some form of extension only exercise, and that should strengthen these up here. We want to work glutes, get the powerful glute in order to the sprinter's glutes, basically to help us with sprinting, because that's where our power comes from. But a lot of it comes from what we call treble extension, from the glutes, hamstrings down to the calves, or really we will refer to the joints in those areas. So we want to strengthen these hamstrings up. The moment I've got a hamstring, not really a hamstring injury, but the insertion's a bit tight, so I need to do these hamstring exercises as well in order to improve my performance and prevent injuries further. 116 million pounds. So where this has got to go, you can get a little bit more room basically to put it over your hips and your, basically between your hips and your stomach area. We've nicknamed this the penis killer. That's where the bar goes, and that's the only time you're going to hear me mention that word, because otherwise that's going to be rather inappropriate for the channel. But it's got to sit right between your hips where your body connects to the lower half. Feet wide. This is still a warm-up. We're going to do 10 reps. Oh. So we're going to be using this exactly the same bar section as we were before, although ideally probably be better on the mats there, nice and softer compared to the lifting platform here. Generally you should be able to, on this exercise, be able to lift more than you would do normally without it, simply because we're only going to be raising off the ground about that far. I've got one mat here, and I'm going to wrap that round, because this is the most uncomfortable exercise known to mankind, especially if you're a man. Most fiddly to work out as well. Good, that's going to have to do. Drive up, drive, 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 drive. Here it goes. Make that a little bit, actually. What I really need is a knee pad. That'd be so much simpler. This come undone. Oh well, sod it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Last one. I hate this exercise with a passion. I don't like this exercise. It's so uncomfortable. So, when it comes to hand grips, you can even, some people like it up here to help them with the lift. You can have it like there, whatever works really. It's going to be uncomfortable however you're going to do it. That machine over there is so much more comfortable when doing the exercise. It's just a strap that goes across here, and not just one point, it just goes across just above the you-know-where. So to be people understanding, I'm doing 3 to 5 minute break in between in order to recover. Damn, this is quite heavy for me. What I really need to invest in is like a leg bar, and they're different to the straps you put around the head because they're thicker, but in the center they kind of curve out so that you can wrap it on, and they're supposed to go over your knees so that it sits on easier, and with that combined with this, that'll be so much easier to do. You can also use it for calf raises and things like that. When you're setting up the bar, you don't necessarily need to have clips unless you're super unstable, because you're only lifting it that far off the ground anyway, and you should be going in one line. Make sure they're flat on. Oh, yeah, so 3 5 minute break. What we're going to do in between, I'm going to explain after the next lift why we have 3 to 5 minute break as a sprinter, especially when we're trying to lift heavy weights. One more to go. Uno more. Uno more. Bang it, let's go. Hey mate, you alright? Yeah, how's it going?
I'm good, thank you, yeah. I've been a bit lazy with the gym lately. I've got to just get back down there. It's just...
You'll keep at it, mate, because that keeps you motivated. Yeah, there's so many ways you can actually do this exercise. You can do what I'm doing on the floor, just lie on the floor and lift, and that way you can lift heavier. You can, but you lose the range, if that makes sense. So another way to do it is get a box and do it, but you need lighter weight, because you lift it a lot higher that way, and you're basically your bum comes down and then you come up from that set position. So more like a hinge action, and you can do it on things like this Smith machine here. And that way you're basically working your glutes more. So you literally have your shoulder blades on the box and your bum comes down and you just lift. Sure. This is shoulder height, so for me this is on 6. At the moment it's on 5. So move it down to 6 so we have it on shoulder height, so when we actually do the squat we don't have to go on our tiptoes to put it back, which is pretty dangerous. Now we need the uprights from earlier. Hammer strength uprights. And we need to put them back, and we need to have them roughly in line where we can do our squat. Yeah, so I've got them on 13. Now, how high you have them depends on how high you're going to squat. Sorry, how low you're going to squat. As an athlete, we don't need to go bum to heel. There's a positive and negative to going as low as you can. But the way you work it out, if you don't know, is literally just do a squat and see where it pairs up on, depending on how low you're looking to go. So, if I wanted to go, say 90 degrees, this here would be probably too high, so I need it down to a 15. But as I'm going to do a 3/4 squat, I need to only to go here, and therefore that's just fine, perfect for me. So I could do this with my hoodie on. I'm not going to at the moment. This is just a rewarm. So what we got is got the knurling here, smooth bit, and a bit of knurling, which is this graty stuff in the middle. And my neck needs to be where that graty stuff in the middle, the knurling in the middle is. So just going to do 10 full range squats if I can on this, just very lightweight. We don't have a bar rest for the bar. I've only done one set, which I didn't press record because I'm an idiot. But the idea is where we have the hood for, it basically protects the neck. So we haven't got a bar rest here. Now, differences between different types of bar rests. You can get the knee ones where they've got the gap in the middle and are really firm and hard, or you can go for the one for the shoulder ones. Technically you do it both, but if you think about it, the shoulder one's a lot softer, so it protects the neck. If we use a knee, if we utilise the one for the knees, it puts the bar up here, so technically your neck takes the whole entire press when we don't want it to. We just want it to sit on our shoulders. We're going to do 3/4 squats, 3/4 down, not all the way down to the squat, because we're an athlete and we do a lot of work at that 3/4 range when we do sprinting and do other forms of drills. It's a lot of it's at that 3/4 range. Yes, there are benefits to doing deep squats as well. You hear a lot of bodybuilders and that saying, gotta go deep, gotta go deep. You don't always have to go deep. It's a different theory of what you do, although it does help protect you from injury. Okay, let's do it. I need to make this a little bit heavier though. So now we've got the hood, sits on the back of the shoulders perfectly. Let's go. Blast. And that's why we have hammer strength things here. Okay, so when we do squat, what we don't want to do is just do that quarter squats. You can put as much weight on the bar as you possibly could, and anyone can do that. That's not proper squatting. You're not getting full benefit from it. A lot of people, like the bodybuilders, the so-called weightlifters, tell you always go down as deep as you can. That's because in their sport, let's say for instance in powerlifting, they tell you to go bum to ground. Well, actually no, it's a rhyming word beginning with A and another word beginning with G, and I'm not going to pronounce it because this is a family channel. Likewise, when you do your squats, there is a benefit to going deeper. If you're used to going deeper, you work the full range of muscle. And by working the full range of muscle, you strengthen the full range of muscle across the entire range of the exercise. If you're looking to develop strong glutes, you go deep as you can. But in athletics, we rarely ever go that deep because we have no need to go that deep. But what I do, what's quite useful, is I go do deep squats in the winter months, get the strength and power, and then once I develop the form, then I revert back to my 3/4 squats. These 3/4 squats, talking about 70 degrees here, is where we want to be. Normal here, and that's all the way down. Normal, 90 degrees, 3/4 here. So, here we go. Round 3, free lift. Your neck, so you've got to get my head on the knurling. That puts it right in the middle knurling, puts it right in the shoulders. The outer knurling is basically for your hands to go. I've put it down by 2.5 seconds, and I've given myself a little bit longer in the break to try and nail this exercise because I don't want to end up on my bum again. Let's do it. Make sure the bar's straight, although I can in theory do that but by getting underneath it, but I've just moved it across, make sure all the weight's as tight or nice. Lovely jubbly, happy days, here we go. 3/4 squats, weight at 25, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 120, 130 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds, so I've realised most of the audience are American. Looking on the screen now to figure out what the weight is. Oh God, doing my hips. That's okay, I'm a hipster. Oh, that wasn't low enough, Adam, come on. Don't lift at the back, keep the back straight. Bum out, chest out on the way down, keeps back in line. 3. Yeah, so when we go down, we keep our bum out, chest out on the way down. Helps to keep our back perfectly in line. What we don't want to do is start lifting up with the back. We've got to get a little bit lower. My first rep, I wasn't low enough, so that's something to reflect on. By getting to correct depth, we're looking to generate that power up. So for these exercises, I'm not looking to go slow, I'm looking to get them up in good timing, if not quick as possible if I can. Stronger, the more powerful you are, because strength is strength. So power is strength times speed. So as a sprinter, that can be useful, especially when we get later on into the summer months and we're looking to maintain the stuff we've done over the winter. And you're just looking to pow, pow, pow. I'm going to do something on contrast training so you can get an understanding of what I mean. It's potentially one way of doing that kind of power training. But that's not today. That's the end of the squats. Now it's time to strip the bar again. So it's time for RDLs, otherwise known as Romanian deadlifts. Deadlifts for the Romanians. Basically it's a straight leg deadlift, so we're not squatting down and picking it up off the ground. That's wrong if you're bending your knees. What you want to do is keep your knees bent as you do it. That's how you do it. So yeah, we can do a straight leg variant, but we can also do the bent leg variant. I'm going to do the super straight leg variant first with the legs really close so you get an idea here. And then I'm going to do a bent leg variant. It's not too bent, it's just literally slightly bent. If it's because of my hamstring injury, if that hurts, I'm going to move it over and put it onto my neck, and we're going to end up doing what we call a good morning, which is very similar. It's another form of RDL. So this is quite lightweight. I need to up the weight though. Feet, legs together. Bum out on the way down. Back in line. 1, 2, you can do 5. So that is the bent straight leg variant. Now we're going to do the bent leg variant. Benty, benty. 1 and up. So, for the bent leg variant, we need to have our legs shoulder width apart. You can do that on the straight leg as variant, although you can, by changing our leg angles, we affect how the exercise affects our bodies in different ways. But generally, shoulder width apart or hip width apart, and then it's straight down, only slightly bending. We don't want to be arched like that, because now we're working predominantly back and not hamstrings, which is where we want to work. Right, let's up this weight. So now what I've done is I've got 2 25s on a 15 kilogram bench press bar. Now I'm going to do the RDLs properly. Still relatively light, but that's because I'm worried more about the hamstring if anything, but this should hopefully strengthen it. If you get an injury, guys, please just don't power through it. You're just going to end yourself injured even more. Know your body and learn and do what your physio tells you. So now I'm going to smash this, hopefully, to this New Age Stance Classic, but looks like it's just finished. So let's crack on with it. So when we're lifting, what we want to try and do, we're going to keep our legs straight, back straight, legs straight-ish, and go down to the point where we feel it, where our mobility can take us. And as soon as we get down, that's when we come back up again. With this exercise, because the action's quite minute, we can lift a lot heavier than we think we can. Not necessarily. What on earth is this rubbish song? When we're doing the hip thrust, you can lift a lot more weight because you've got minute distance. You've got to lift this off the ground still, so you still got to be, still got to be a weight you can lift. What you can do though, there's a gentleman doing exactly what I'm explaining to in the weight rack area. You can use the the hammer strength supports that prevent you from falling over, which you saw me fall over and take the weight off me. We can utilize that to help us with the lift. So we put it on there, we whack the weight on, then we just simply hold and grab the bar, and then we do the RDL. Bum, 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 bum. Bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum ba bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum bum. Okay, round 2. Ignore my singing. I know it's that bad. Well, I don't think so, but anyway, apparently everyone else does. Head up. Keeps you back in line. So that was my last exercise, the RDL. It accumulated this session. Don't forget to smash subscribe. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next SSA video. Bye.